So as always, these videos are going to have spoilers. I always forget to say that at the beginning, I don't know why. So I'm going to move this to the front and then start the video from there. Okay. Hello, welcome. So this week I read a lot, as you may or may not be able to tell. You know, see, I got this one right here. That was good. I got the end of Kuroko basketball. That was pretty good. I got Dragon Ball Super number 12. That was pretty good. I have 6 volumes of Neon Genesis Evangelion. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and a 3-in-1. And then I've got like, I don't even know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Blue Exorcist. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to record a separate one for my thoughts on Blue Exorcist. And the reason why this is late is because I celebrated Christmas this weekend with my family, and so when I got back on Sunday night, I was exhausted and I had to go to work the next day. So I went to work the next day, came home and went to bed. So yeah, I was just too tired to record it. On Monday when I came home from work, I was really too tired to do anything there. So now I'm recording it today in the morning. And I'll try to get the Blue Exorcist one up by Thursday. So this week it won't be any manga hauls, just 2 kind of book reading club videos. And the next week will be all hauls, obviously again. Sunday I'll have another reading log. Things should be back to normal next week is what I'm trying to say. Anyways, let's get into the mangas. So first off, Hell's Paradise Jigo Kuroko. This was awesome. They introduced a new character and a new landing crew, Shujin. Shujin is made to be sounding like this ultra badass, and he can take down the beasts, he calls them, with his bare fists. And I'm like, what? Because he doesn't want to ruin his sword on pieces of crap. I'm like, holy shit. So he is awesome. Total badass. But they say he's a psychopath, which so far he totally is a psychopath. There's a few other characters on the landing crew as well, which I don't know their names too well because I haven't said them too much. But these 2 right here are the 2 main ones, and then there's also a man who landed as well. But those 2 are the ones that really do anything. There's also the clan that Genji's from. Sorry, not Genji. Gabimaru's from. That's also with them. And they're trying to stop Gabimaru. But we'll see how that goes. I doubt it's going to go very good since Gabimaru's like a genius with Tao. But yeah, it's cool to see these guys fight these demons for the first time. Excuse me. On the other side of things, we have Gabimaru's crew. And Gabimaru's crew is off kind of planning their attack on, the Tengen, I believe it's called, let's see. Tenzin, sorry. The Tenzin crew. And, they're trying to make a good attack plan. They're trying to match their attributes best to the other hermits of Tenzin. But of course, it doesn't always go as planned. And also the brother here, what's his name again? I forget. Chobe, or Ao Chobe, is supposed to be like, he's kidnapped. And so he decided to go so he could protect his brother, but he's kind of switching sides over to Lord Tenzin's side for more power. They experiment on him with this big ass plant, which is just made of people, which is pretty crazy. You can kind of see there. And he's trying to protect his brother because they're trying to do it to him. He's like, oh hell no, I don't think so. So he figures if he's on their side, then they won't do it. So when they invade Lord Tenzin's castle, obviously their plans go awry because they can also sense their Tao, which they didn't, expect for some reason. to be as good as them at that, but, you know, these hermits have been doing it for hundreds of years. May also came along because she just wants to leave the island. She wants to say, you know, why did you guys change one last time? See if there's any way to bring them back. So far they're saying not really, but we'll see. And May will then eventually leave, ideally. But yeah, so it's cool. It's nice to see them fight. I really like to watch Gabimaru fight because I think he is, like, obviously super cunning. So Gabimaru has to fight his elemental weakness. He uses a few ninja arts, which is neat. But then he also figures out that he can turn off his Tao and kind of manipulate the other person's Tao and then knock it back at him. So here's an example of him doing it like this. So you can see he kind of killed his Tao aura. And the waves or the sharks there is the enemy's Tao. So he's kind of weaving through the enemy's Tao and then redirecting it back at the enemy itself. So he's using the enemy's Tao against himself. Kind of like judo, I suppose. So that was really cool to see that. And yeah, that pretty much wrapped up the whole volume. He of course transforms, and they go a little bit further into the other groups as they land, but they don't get into their battles so much quite yet. But yeah, Genji is actually this guy over here. So that's why I was like saying Genji. It's actually Gabimaru. It's a whole thing. But yeah, that's the way it goes. People die. So is life. Oh, and also Shugen freaking tamed. He tamed these goddamn demons, the Doji. You can see him riding the horses here. They're fucking crazy. It's just a wild chapter altogether. Wild volumes. Next, Dragon Ball Super. Everyone probably knows not quite as good as the old school Dragon Ball, but still not bad. In this volume we get to see Gohan and the Z Fighters fight the invaders from the Galactic Jail. So that's kind of neat. I think his name's 7-3, might be 6-3. He's pretty cool how you can absorb people. And just by touching their neck. Also Vegeta's training over on Yardrat, trying to learn neat moves using spirit and magic instead of brute force, whereas Goku's training with Maris to become better controlled in Ultra Instinct so he can just kind of go on it on his own. It's 7-3 though, confirmed. But 7-3 is cool because he can absorb everyone's powers and kind of copy them. But bad thing for him is he picked, you know, Gohan and Piccolo, father-son duo to fight. So he copies Piccolo, then 7-3 can go big. He can use Special Beam Cannon, a few other moves, which is kind of neat. But Gohan like totally destroys him, and Piccolo's like, man, that hurts, bro. Man, seeing you beat me so easy is just like, damn. So I thought that was pretty funny. But he also can control Moro, as you can see there. And the other guys, the porcupine race they were fighting earlier, that allows him to kind of warp between planets, which is really cool. But yeah, so they fight these invaders off. Then they're gone for 2 months, so Gohan and the other Z fighters get to train. Vegeta and Goku get to keep training. Vegeta realizes that he's a beast now. He doesn't even mean it. He doesn't mean to be a beast at all, as you can see here. And the reason is because his spirit is now more in line with his body. And so he can more easily use his actual power that he's had all along. So that was really neat. He also showed off this Zarbon-esque character, which I thought was really cool. He's supposed to be immortal, but obviously he is not immortal when he transforms. So that's always fun. You gotta love to see those. Miras, of course, is revealed to be an angel. And you can see the Galactic Patrol has a few new recruits there. Yamcha surprisingly doesn't get his ass beat. And Master Roshi's off flirting with girls. Gohan uses this dope technique Sorry, my throat's so dry. Where he can reflect Special Beam Cannon, which is awesome. And then Piccolo shoots off another Special Beam Cannon through it. So it's like ultra amplified and like wrecks 7-3, which was awesome. And then, of course, oh yeah, this is cool too. Gohan's jumping on Piccolo's Ki Blast to dodge the enemy's Ki Blasts. That was awesome too. And lastly, 17 and 18 show up here. He'll beat 7-3 because he's an android, so they figured that makes sense. And also, Frieza claims that Frieza's not a criminal. They're just doing an important side business in this little bonus manga, which I thought was kind of funny. Anyways, that Dragon Ball Super manga volume was pretty sweet. I love to see some Gohan action. I wish Gohan was like actually strong though. I mean, he's going against these Garbo, what are they called? Like cronies that really aren't going to amount to much besides 7-3. So I do wish he was doing, you know, something a little bit more important, but it's always good to get some action with Gohan. Next, we finished Kuroko's basketball. This one I finished early in the week, so I don't remember it as well, but it was pretty good. You know, Kagami, of course, is in the zone, but then where it left off is Akashi got in the zone as well. And so once Akashi's in the zone, it's trouble. Hyuga's got 5 fouls, so that's no good. So they have to figure out how to stop all this stuff from going on. Plus, the lightning dribbler is also going up like ham. And so they've got really a lot of things against them. But then what ends up happening is Kagami figures out how to get into this gate. And the whole time they're building up this gate, you know, Aome's talking about it and everything, Akashi's talking about this gate. And at the end of the zone, there's this gate. And there's some guy blocking the gate. But they find out it's not some guy blocking the gate. It's actually, what's his name? Kuroko. There to go through the gate with you. And so once they open the door, see, there he is. It was Tetsu all along. So once they open the door, you get to go past the gate into something called direct drive zone. So whenever you look at another one of your teammates, they get the idea of what you want to do like immediately, which is kind of neat. At least that's how I understood it. I don't know if that's exactly right, but it looked to be that way. Anyways, that was awesome to see it drawn out. It looks really cool. The opposing team, though, Rakuzan, is all in the zone, but they're not fully in the zone. Akashi was able to put them in like 85%. And he also got rid of his... Well, I don't know that he got rid of his Emperor Eye, but he switched back to his original persona. I thought his original persona didn't have Emperor Eye, but he still somehow uses it. At least I think he's using it. Maybe it's just the zone. But that was really cool. The ending I felt like could have been a little bit better though, because they kind of just end with them like training for the next season, and I was like, oh man, just like a little bit of closure would have been kind of cool. But like they keep going on, and it just says the end, and I'm like, man, am I missing an arc? Like I feel like there's going to be another arc, but obviously there's not. So I would have liked it if they just ended it with this big party and then like a few years in the future, not just like continuing on like nothing had happened, but that's okay. Lastly, Neon Genesis Evangelion. It has really cool color pages at the start of each manga, which is nice. I thought this was like a really cool looking scene. I've seen a lot of the anime just in pieces though. I used to watch it on Adult Swim / Toonami whenever it was on. But I never watched it like coherently, so like I always caught like a few episodes here and there. So I watched the beginning, I watched like the end, and I watched a few episodes in the middle, but I've never sat down to watch it all from start to finish. Anyways, it's about this guy Shinji. He starts off as a total crybaby in the manga. I feel like they must make him more likable because I really hated him in the anime, I remember, but now I'm kind of siding with him. I'm like, dude, fuck that. I'm not jumping in some giant robot where, like, if my arm gets broken off in the robot, I feel the pain of it. Like, that's crazy. I would, like, be totally against that. But, everyone just gives him shit. They're like, listen, you gotta pilot it, otherwise the world's destroyed. And I'm like, man, I get that, but like, fuck you. That thing is like not cool. Anyways, in between the volumes, so when it would be like, it says volume 1 part 2, so that'd be volume 2. There's a few more color pages each time with like the table of contents there. It also shows you at the end a few interviews and things like that, so you can get a little behind the story. It's behind each volume too. So that was kind of neat to read through that, kind of see how it goes. You can see the guy was kind of really struggling to keep up with his work, which every mangaka I feel like does. The angels so far are really kind of flavor of the month, but that's okay, because I know it's going to get a little bit more intense. It's also interesting to see Shinji's school life with Kaiji, and I don't remember the other kid's name, but he probably has one. But Kaiji's really cool. Nyatsu's really cool. And Rei is like really weird per usual, because she's just so blank. They use her as a tummy, I guess, apparently. I don't really know exactly what that's all about, but we'll have to see, I'm sure, later on. But yeah, so far so good with this first volume. You get to see a little bit of a sneak peek into Rei's past with his dad, and you can get to see how his dad is like, what's it called? You can see how his dad's somewhat not selfish, selfless, I guess is a better word for it. You know, because he sacrifices his hands to save Rei. But even still, his dad is like a total dick. He's just constantly ignoring him. And then also Shinji gets to walk in on Rei. See some naked Rei, but Rei's just like, meh. And I'm like, what the heck is going on with Rei? So yeah, that goes on. The art to it's really cool too. So I'm pretty interested in it. Oh, I love this scene where they make a railgun for Shinji. I remember watching this one when I was a kid too. And he shoots and fires, he messes it, and then he takes up this whole beam rifle, right? With this like tank that's supposed to supply it, and he just runs off with it. You can see the tank over here, he's just like lifted up. And I'm like, dude, what? And then he like plants and then fires it again so he can hit the middle of it. So that was another angel he took out. The angel fights are usually pretty cool. But one of them that I thought was really annoying was the twin one that he has to do with Asuka, and so I was really not about that, because Asuka, they show off her to be like this total beast, right? She like just takes out this angel in like a second, and the angel is like crazy looking. But then now she has to train with dancing with Shinji. You also get to find out that her trainer, this guy right here, is like a spy investigating Nerve, and so he's showing all of the secrets, which I thought was really cool, of Nerve to everybody really. So that was cool. But yeah, I really didn't like them to train together to get in sync. I get the importance of it, but like, I just could not wait for that to be over, because it was just kind of, it's not cringe, but it's just like, I get it, I know this has to happen, let's just get past it so that way, you know, this fight can go on, because this angel's just been like chilling, and I'm like, man, please, just like, let's beat this angel. It took like all of this volume to beat it. Not like this 3-in-1, but like one of the 3-in-1s, and then they finally beat it. So that was good to be that over with, but still. Shinji's dad starts to become more and more sinister as it goes on. Like, more and more sketchy, I guess is a better word for it. So, he's at the mother's grave. He, like, doesn't say, like, more than 2 words to his son at his mother's grave, or his wife's grave. That was really weird. Then he takes off. Give me a second here. Alright, anyways. I had to change the battery pack off my camera, sorry. So yeah, that's the scene where Mikasa finds out, not Mikasa, Masato finds out that, you know, Ryoji Kaiji is actually a spy. And then he goes off and shows her why he's a spy. He's like, listen, these people are up to some weird shit. Let me show you. And so eventually he goes through and he shows her, and this is like a flashback too, of Ray stabbing this angel Adam with like this spear of Longinus, whatever his name is, from 300. So he shows her Adam, and you can see this like weird goo falling off of him, and like these legs sticking out of him. It's freaking creepy. So that was going on, and then they also are recruiting another child as they get another Eva, and so they end up recruiting Kaiji, one of Shinji's friends from school. And I guess that gets confusing with Mr. Kaiji too. And Kaiji is like totally like developing up his love life with the school representative, the class representative. They have like a Yu Yu Hakusho kind of love with Yusuke, Urameshi, and Kagome. I think, no, that's not her name, not Kagome. It's like, it starts with a K. Kyoka or Keikyo, something like that. I can't remember. It's been so long since I read Yu Yu Hakusho and watched it. Anyways, they have a similar relationship, but like with less spirit guns and demons, but still some angels. So she's trying to like make him lunch, but she can never find him because he's being recruited into the nerve program. So when he's in there, his Eva starts to be corrupt and turn into an angel. And so they have to destroy it. So they use the dummy AI to take over Shinji's Eva and just like totally kill Kaiji. And I'm like, what? Or, sorry, I keep calling him Kaiji. It's actually Toji. That's why I thought that was confusing. Yeah, so Toji. So they try to kill Toji 100 times with this AI. And it's like brutal. And Shinji's like, listen, I'm going to die, and I don't care because I'm not going to kill my friend. But his dad's like, I don't think so, dude. That's government material, and you're not ruining it. So we're taking over. And they just, like, totally go ape shit on this guy. They rip off his arms and just, like, take out his plug. And then they fucking snap it in half. Like, look at that. They're not even trying to save this guy's life. I was like, what the hell? So that was pretty crazy. I like was losing my mind when I saw that. But yeah, so Toji's probably dead. They say he's got all these things wrong with him. No heart sounds, massive cranial trauma, spleen ruptured. The dude is totally dead. And it's kind of sad because the class rep is like found the perfect lunch meal for him. And he'll never get to eat it. Anyways, so that's what I read this week minus Blue Exorcist. I'm going to cover Blue Exorcist in another video. But this was a solid week. Next week I'm definitely for sure going to be reading Quintessential Quintuplets. I promise this time. I can't believe I forgot to read it. And I'm also going to finish, well, maybe not finish up, but I'm going to continue reading Neon Genesis Evangelion. But yeah, I read a ton this week, obviously. You can tell by the length of the video. Anyways, thanks for watching. Stay tuned for the Blue Exorcist if you have any interest in Blue Exorcist. But until then, bye.